God, it's like buses, isn't it? You get nothing. One of the stodgiest, most frustrating weeks of transfer news of the whole window so far. And then out of nowhere, everything starts to happen. Welcome, Blue Believers, to another episode of the Stamford Sync, where we are syncing up with everything Chelsea FC. And I think we can reasonably expect the next few days, the next few hours potentially, to be absolutely jam-packed with drama, and it is all kicking off. But guys, before I get into it, if you are enjoying the content and would like to see more, please do me the distinct honour of liking and sharing the video, subscribe to the channel, or just roast me in the comments, whatever gets you through your day. Right, so let's get into it, man. And if I'm completely honest, ever since David Ornstein's Fermin Lopez tweet, right, that seems to be the one that has started knocking all these dominoes down, because as of yesterday, all of a sudden, there's loads of talks about Christopher Nkunku to AC Milan. There's Jackson to Bayern Munich is heating up, and the Xavi Simons stuff is coming back round, and we've got some stuff to get into via that as well. But first, let's talk about Christopher Nkunku. We have had the here we go from Fabrizio Romano. Christopher Nkunku on a permanent sale to AC Milan. Yes, a permanent sale. No loans, no annoying stuff, no nothing, not anything we've got to worry about. It is going to be 30 to 40 million pounds, which is not exactly what we wanted, but at the end of the day, at this point in the window, when we've still got deals to make, and we're in the season now. Do you know what I mean? So this is good news, man. This is good news. I think Christopher Nkunku will do well at AC Milan. They need a striker as well. Do you know what I mean? They played essentially. I mean, Rafael's a bit more of a winger, isn't he? And Ruben Loftus-Cheek is not exactly a centre forward, so they could do with someone of Christopher Nkunku's calibre at their club. Not a bad signing for them at all. Yes, a little bit of a shame that we couldn't get more for him, because what you know about Christopher Nkunku is he's good for a goal. He'll absolutely 100% get you a goal. Hopefully he just fits into that AC Milan system and philosophy better than he fit in here. It was a shame, right, when he stopped blowing up the balloon, because I love the balloon, man. I love it when players have got something a little bit interesting. It's like when Aubameyang used to do the Spider-Man thing. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I like it when players got a bit of character in their celebrations and a bit of their personality comes out. But yeah, Christopher Nkunku to AC Milan for 30 to 40 million pounds. It could have been more, I guess. Like, ideally we bought him for 50. Reasonably, I thought 50 was probably in and around where we'd land, but loads of people have been talking about Christopher Nkunku this whole window, man. Do you know what I mean? Bayern Munich were the big ones at the start. Red Bull Leipzig were interested in him, and obviously now Inter Milan have come to take him on. So that's good, because no one else was wanting to pay up the money, and we need the money, because what Fabrizio Romano has been telling us for the last week, 2 weeks, nearly 3 weeks now, is that the Xavi Simons deal hinges on Christopher Nkunku getting out the door. And that even maybe might have been a loan. I'm not sure if it was a wage thing or whatever, but Christopher Nkunku is out of the door now. So that kind of leads us nicely into the next little sideline. It's the news about Xavi Simons today, man. So I've just seen a report that says Xavi Simons has been seen in London. And that's either really good or really bad. So I'm still I'm generally a proponent that I think the Xavi Simons deal will be done. I am of the opinion, and it is only an opinion, but the Fermin Lopez thing was a bit of a smoking deal. I think that might have been leaked by Chelsea to Ornstein in order to start putting pressure on people to get things going. One way or the other, it seems to have worked. Whether that was the intention or not, ever since that Fermin Lopez tweet from David Ornstein has come out, things have started to happen, right? So are Tottenham going to swoop in and hijack our move for Xavi Simons? I really, really hope not, man, because don't get me wrong, Fermin Lopez looks wicked. And I'm into the idea if we can get him for that purported 50 million euro amount, which is 38 million pounds ish, that would represent a really, really good deal for us. That's less than we paid for Cole Palmer, for that similar kind of position that we'd be looking at. But I really like the look of Xavi Simons. Obviously, because we've been talking about it for so long, I have done deep dive upon deep dive in Xavi Simons. Go and check out this video here if you'd like to find out about how he did over the course of his career. He's had a bit of a storied career as well, starting at the famous La Masia Academy at Barcelona, going to PSG at the age of 16, and hopping in and around Europe, getting really, really good numbers along the way. I really want to see Xavi Simons in a Chelsea shirt, and I guess today is going to be the day whether we find out whether that happens or not. So I will be appearing tonight on a live stream with the Blue Lounge. I think he's going to be streaming every night until the end of the transfer window, and I will be probably hopping on tonight to talk about what's going on as well. So it's a bit weird with the Xavi Simons thing, isn't it? Because Xavi Simons being in London could mean one of two things. It could mean he's come to push the Chelsea deal through. Now the fabled Christopher Nkunku deal is happening, and you know, maybe that's what it's for. But the noise about Xavi Simons going to Tottenham has been hotting up over the last few days. That would not be good news for us, man. And it makes sense from a Tottenham perspective, obviously, because they were just willing to spend 60, 70 million pounds on Eze, who's now obviously gone to Arsenal. So a young attacking midfielder who also favours that left side, which you could argue is also very much in the mould of an Eze, makes sense for Tottenham if that's a role in their squad they think they're still looking for. If it's a straight shootout, he'll come to Chelsea, I think, because what we've heard again, thank you Fabrizio Romano for all the little morsels of news you've been dropping every single day about it. But Xavi Simons has said more than once, I want to come to Chelsea. I want to go to Chelsea. I want to go to Chelsea. He pulled himself out of the Red Bull Leipzig camp, the pre-season camp, in order to try and force the move through. We obviously have started taking our time with it because obviously player sales are a bit of a struggle. There was the stuff with Levi Colwill, might put a bit of a spanner in the works whilst we were figuring out what else to do. But at the end of the day, the message, as far as we've seen, us peasants, the message that we've seen for the whole time is Xavi Simons wants to come to Chelsea. So if he goes to Tottenham, I wouldn't have thought that'd be because it's a choice. Do you know what I mean? And he's chosen Tottenham over Chelsea. I would more imagine that would only likely to be the case if the Fermin Lopez thing is gathering steam and he's had an indication from our camp that the Chelsea move is just not on. I don't think that's going to happen, man. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm praying this isn't going to happen. I would really not like to lose Xavi Simons to Tottenham. But like I said, man, apparently he has been spotted in London. So I think one way or the other, we're going to start finding out very, very soon. Swiftly moving on. I'm going to keep this quite short today because there's going to be a lot coming on and I'm going to have another video out later and I'm doing the live stream tonight. So there's going to be plenty of Stamford to think about if you're interested. But moving on, Nicolas Jackson, right? Nicolas Jackson more and more is looking like a loan to Bayern Munich, and we were talking about it last night on the stream. That potentially is going to come with an obligation to buy and also a nice chunky little £10 million loan fee. So that represents good business. Obviously, it'd be better to get him off the books, but he's clearly the most valuable asset we've got left, and Chelsea don't want to be taken for a ride. And I respect that, man. I respect that. I released a video yesterday saying about what do we do because we've only got one loan spot left. What I have learned since then, now I knew this already, but it's really complicated because we loaned so many players, right? We've got one international loan spot left. And as far as the likes of Ben Chilwell and Raheem Sterling go, we could still loan them to clubs in the UK, and that would still be within the remit of what we're able to do loan-wise, right? So Nicolas Jackson to Bayern Munich, it's not the end of the world. Okay, no more international loan spots, but looking at the bomb squad we've got left and the players we've got, likely that they would probably want to stay within the UK anyway. So that's probably going to be okay. It will still be a bit of a sting because that'll be a lot of wages to cover. I've seen Coventry are in for Ben Chilwell. Would love that to happen, by the way. But yeah, 10 million now for a season-long loan for Nicolas Jackson with an obligation to buy. If that price winds up being 50, 60 mil, then we get 60, 70 mil for him, which is kind of what we're looking for now anyway. Nicolas Jackson to Bayern Munich. Obviously, Harry Kane's there, and again, something we talked about on the stream last night. We're maybe getting the distinct feeling that Jackson might be used quite often as a left wing option, right? Because they still haven't really replaced Musiala since his horrible injury in the Club World Cup. So Jackson could 100% get minutes as a number 9, but probably get quite a lot of minutes out on the left as well, which I still lament that this is something we never tried in the Chelsea squad, bearing in mind how savage our left wing situation was. Do you know what I mean? With Mykhailo Mudryk, the situation being what it was, and Jadon Sancho just completely flattering to deceive in a Chelsea shirt, and obviously us farming out Madueke and Pedro Neto there all season. I can't believe we didn't even once try Nicolas Jackson on the left wing, but Maresca, he's the boss, he knows what he's doing, right? So things are hotting up, guys. The transfer window is about to get really, really interesting, and the other thing is Garnacho, right? There's not a huge amount of new news about Garnacho, but as per last night, it seems that there's Fabrizio Romano did a small piece on the Spanish version of the DAZN Twitter app, and they shared it, and he basically said that the deal's 90% done. That's not a here we go, here we go. He's starting to do little here we goes now. Do you know what I mean? He's like, no, this is going to happen. Do you know what I mean? It's funny. Shout out to Kai from behind the dugouts. He was like, Fabrizio Romano's going to start dropping trailers for here we go soon. And that's kind of what happened yesterday, man. That's literally kind of what happened yesterday. So we can reasonably expect the Xavi Simons and Garnacho deals to go through in the next couple of days. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Xavi Simons. Either of them could happen today, man. Today could be a really, really massive day. Then that only leaves us with the centre-back situation really to consider. And what we were talking about it last night. And if I'm being completely honest, who is there? Do you know what I mean? It's like Hincapié looks more and more and more like he's going to go to Arsenal. He was the only kind of option that was being floated around and not even that strong in terms of the Chelsea links, right? So it'd be interesting to see if we manoeuvre for a centre-back or try and sort some sort of centre-back situation out over the next couple of days, because what is it? It is Thursday today. It closes on Monday, right? So we do still have the whole weekend. Obviously, there's the game, which is never great to be doing transfer news right on in and around the day of a game, is it? So today could be a really, really big day, man. It is, like I say, completely reasonable to expect, with Christopher Nkunku going out, and he was supposedly that domino that was standing in everyone's way. Nicolas Jackson as well. If he goes out, then we could be looking at 2 outs and 2 ins in the next few days. And then the squad is kind of looking done. Do you know what I mean? Bar the centre-back situation, that's when we can really, really start to take a look at our squad. Because the transfer window is what it is, and we've got the owners that we've got, there is still up 100% a chance that something could come out of nowhere, a little bit like the Fermin Lopez news did. It'll be really interesting to see. We don't need any more strikers. We don't need any more wingers. We don't really need any more midfielders. I think we're pretty stacked in the midfield situation as well. Obviously, we've got the 2 best fullbacks in the Prem and one of the best backups by the look of it in Yoro Hato. Malaga still obviously very able deputy. We have lots of centre-backs. That's absolutely true. But are we still a little bit light on that one position? And the goalkeeping situation, that's something else we talked about last night. I don't think that Robert Sanchez is going anywhere. The only guy that seems to be available is Donnarumma, and that's just, I mean, don't get me wrong, Donnarumma is a better keeper than Sanchez, but it's kind of replacing a spade with a spade in terms of the profile that we're looking for, and we know how important that profile is to Maresca, so I don't see us going out and dropping a huge ton of money on Donnarumma when he's not ideally the profile we're looking for anyway, which is actually the reason that he has been launched out of the PSG team by Luis Enrique, and by all accounts it looks like he's going to go to Man City anyway. So that's it, guys. I'm going to wrap it up there today. I just wanted to do one quick little morning-ish video for you, morning, early afternoon, for while you're eating your lunch and drinking your coffees or whatever. And I'll be back later, man, because you can almost guarantee at least one of these things, whether it, I mean, the Christopher Nkunku stuff is done. Nicolas Jackson looks like it's pretty close to being done. And Xavi Simons is in London, and Garnacho has been sat waiting for Chelsea for weeks and weeks and weeks now. So it just feels like any one of these bombs could drop at any moment. So I will 100% be here to talk to you about it when that happens. Nice one, guys. I hope you have an absolutely wicked day, and I'll probably see you later. Peace.